The bitter pill, defining pharmaceutical fraud. Pharmaceutical fraud, a betrayal of trust with potentially devastating consequences, infects all levels of the drug development and distribution process. From clinical trials to marketing campaigns, opportunities for deceit abound, driven by a relentless pursuit of profit over patient well-being. This betrayal takes many forms, from falsifying research data to downplaying known side effects. At its core, pharmaceutical fraud involves intentional deception for financial gain, undermining the integrity of scientific research and jeopardizing public health. The consequences of such fraudulent activities are far-reaching, eroding trust in healthcare systems and most tragically, causing harm to unsuspecting patients. Whether it's manipulating clinical trial data, misrepresenting drug efficacy, or engaging in illegal marketing practices, pharmaceutical fraud represents a gross violation of ethical standards. The pursuit of profits should never come at the expense of patient safety. Yet the allure of financial gain often overshadows the ethical imperative to do no harm. The price of deception impacts on patients and healthcare. The human cost of pharmaceutical fraud is immeasurable. Patients, at the heart of this betrayal, are often left grappling with the consequences of ineffective or even harmful treatments. The physical and emotional toll can be devastating, leading to prolonged suffering, worsening of conditions, and even death. Beyond the individual, pharmaceutical fraud places a significant strain on healthcare systems already grappling with rising costs. The financial burden of treating adverse reactions, coupled with the erosion of public trust, creates a ripple effect felt throughout the system. Resources that could be directed towards legitimate medical needs are diverted to address the fallout of fraudulent activities. Moreover, the proliferation of counterfeit drugs, often linked to fraudulent practices, poses a significant threat to global health. These substandard or falsified medications, lacking the necessary active ingredients or containing harmful substances, put countless lives at risk, particularly in low-income countries with weaker regulatory oversight. The accessibility and affordability of counterfeit drugs make them a dangerous alternative for vulnerable populations desperate for treatment. The shadow market, counterfeit drugs, and their consequences. The global trade in counterfeit pharmaceuticals has become a multi-billion-dollar industry, fueled by weak regulations, porous borders, and the insatiable demand for cheaper medications. These fraudulent products, often disguised as legitimate drugs, infiltrate the supply chain, posing a significant threat to patient safety worldwide. The World Health Organization estimates that 1 in 10 medical products in low- and middle-income countries is substandard or falsified, highlighting the alarming scope of this problem. Counterfeit drugs can range from containing no active ingredients to being laced with harmful substances. In some cases, they may contain the correct ingredients but in the wrong dosage, rendering them ineffective or even dangerous. The consequences of taking counterfeit drugs can be dire, leading to treatment failure, adverse reactions, and even death. The proliferation of counterfeit drugs undermines trust in healthcare systems, particularly in regions where access to quality medicine is already limited. Patients who rely on these counterfeit products are not only at risk of harm, but are also denied the chance of receiving effective treatment for their conditions. The fight against counterfeit drugs requires a multi-pronged approach, including strengthening regulatory frameworks, enhancing supply chain security, and raising awareness among healthcare providers and the public alike. The illusion of safety clinical trial manipulation. Clinical trials, the cornerstone of evidence-based medicine, are designed to rigorously assess the safety and efficacy of new drugs before they reach the market. However, the allure of financial gain can incentivize researchers and pharmaceutical companies to manipulate trial data, jeopardizing the integrity of the entire drug development process. This manipulation can take various forms, from selectively reporting favorable data to altering patient records to meet desired outcomes. One common tactic involves enrolling patients in clinical trials who are less likely to experience adverse events, or who are more likely to show positive results, thereby skewing the findings. Researchers might also manipulate dosages or treatment durations to downplay side effects or exaggerate the drug's effectiveness. The consequences of such manipulation can be devastating, as drugs deemed safe and effective based on flawed data may pose unforeseen risks to patients once they are widely available. These fraudulent practices erode trust in the scientific community and cast a shadow of doubt over the entire drug approval process. When clinical trials are compromised, the foundation of evidence-based medicine crumbles, and patients are left vulnerable to potentially harmful or ineffective treatments. Addressing this issue requires stringent oversight, independent data monitoring committees, and a culture of transparency within the pharmaceutical industry. Section 5. The marketing machine, misbranding and off-label promotion. Once a drug receives regulatory approval, pharmaceutical companies embark on aggressive marketing campaigns to maximize profits. While marketing plays a crucial role in educating healthcare providers and patients about new treatment options, it can, cross the line into unethical and illegal practices. Misbranding and off-label promotion are two common forms of pharmaceutical fraud that can have serious consequences for patient safety. Misbranding occurs when a company makes false or misleading claims about a drug's safety, efficacy, or intended use. This can include exaggerating its benefits, downplaying its risks, or promoting it for conditions it has not been approved to treat. Off-label promotion, on the other hand, involves marketing a drug for uses not approved by regulatory agencies. While off-label prescribing is a legitimate practice in medicine, pharmaceutical companies are prohibited from promoting their products for unapproved uses. These deceptive marketing practices exploit patients' vulnerabilities and can lead them to make uninformed decisions about their health. Patients may be prescribed drugs that are inappropriate for their condition, exposing them to unnecessary risks or delaying access to more effective treatments. Addressing this issue requires stricter enforcement of existing regulations, increased penalties for violations, and empowering healthcare providers and patients to make informed decisions based on accurate and unbiased information. Section 6. Regulatory oversight. The guardians of pharmaceutical integrity. Regulatory agencies worldwide play a critical role in safeguarding public health by overseeing the development, approval, and marketing of pharmaceutical products. These agencies, such as the Food and Drug Administration in the United States and the European Medicines Agency in Europe, are responsible for ensuring that drugs are safe, effective, and manufactured according to strict quality standards. Their mandate is to protect patients from the potential harms of unsafe or ineffective medications. The drug approval process is rigorous and time-consuming, involving extensive preclinical testing, multiple phases of clinical trials, and thorough reviews of safety and efficacy data. Regulatory agencies also inspect manufacturing facilities to ensure compliance with good manufacturing practices and monitor drugs once they are on the market to identify any emerging safety concerns. The goal is to maintain a balance between fostering innovation and protecting public health. However, regulatory agencies face numerous challenges in their efforts to combat pharmaceutical fraud. Limited resources, the sheer volume of data to review, and the increasingly complex nature of drug development can hinder their ability to effectively monitor the industry. Moreover, the revolving door between regulatory agencies and the pharmaceutical industry can create conflicts of interest that undermine public trust. Section 7. The revolving door. Conflicts of interest in drug regulation. The close relationship between regulatory agencies and the pharmaceutical industry, often referred to as the revolving door, raises concerns about conflicts of interest that can compromise the integrity of drug regulation. This revolving door refers to the movement of individuals between positions in government regulatory agencies and the pharmaceutical industry. For example, scientists who once worked for the FDA may later go on to work for pharmaceutical companies they previously regulated. Conversely, individuals with industry experience may join regulatory agencies, potentially bringing with them biases that favor their former employers. While this movement of personnel can facilitate knowledge transfer and collaboration, it also creates opportunities for conflicts of interest that can undermine public trust in the drug approval process. When conflicts of interest exist, there is a risk that regulatory decisions may be influenced by financial considerations or personal relationships, rather than scientific evidence and public health priorities. This can lead to situations where unsafe or ineffective drugs are approved, or where potentially life-saving treatments are delayed or denied. Transparency, strong ethical guidelines, and mechanisms for identifying and managing conflicts of interest are essential to maintain public trust and ensure the integrity of drug regulation. Section 8. towards transparency, strengthening accountability in the industry. Enhancing transparency and accountability within the pharmaceutical industry is crucial for restoring public trust and ensuring patient safety. This requires a multifaceted approach involving stricter regulations, increased enforcement, and a shift in industry culture towards greater transparency and ethical conduct. One critical step is to require pharmaceutical companies to register all clinical trials in public databases, and to disclose their results, regardless of whether the findings are positive or negative. This would help prevent the selective reporting of data and provide a more complete picture of a drug's safety and efficacy. Additionally, regulatory agencies should be given greater authority to impose harsher penalties, including criminal prosecution, for companies that engage in fraudulent activities. Furthermore, fostering a culture of transparency and ethical conduct within the pharmaceutical industry is essential. This includes promoting whistleblower protections, encouraging internal reporting mechanisms, and implementing robust compliance programs. By creating an environment where ethical behavior is valued and rewarded, and where wrongdoing is swiftly addressed, the industry can begin to rebuild trust with the public it serves. Section 9. A call to action, protecting patients, preserving trust. Pharmaceutical fraud is a complex issue with far-reaching consequences for patients, healthcare systems, and society as a whole. Addressing this challenge requires a collective effort from all stakeholders, including regulatory agencies, pharmaceutical companies, healthcare providers, and the public. Patients must be empowered to become informed consumers, questioning their healthcare providers about prescribed medications and researching potential risks and benefits. Healthcare providers have a responsibility to stay abreast of the latest evidence-based guidelines and to report any suspected cases of pharmaceutical fraud to the appropriate authorities. Ultimately, protecting patients and preserving trust in the pharmaceutical industry requires a commitment to ethical conduct, transparency, and accountability at all levels. By working together, we can create a healthcare system where patient safety is paramount and where the pursuit of profit never comes at the expense of human well-being.